Alright guys, today I'm bringing you a Cypher setup tutorial for Split, and we'll start on A. There are many ways you can play on A side. You can either play way back there on A side, or you can play here in A heaven. Or you can even play back there in elbow. And we're gonna start with the setup on A heaven. There are basically two camps you can do here. You can put one on the pillar there, which is pretty open and not that good. And you can do that camera right here where you put it in the corner, and then you can see him pretty early on the A stairs, right? Now you compare that camera with the one-way smoke. So that one-way smoke you line up here and on that corner thingy, and you aim up here onto that corner. Let go, and then that's a perfect one-way. And in practice, you're gonna pair that smoke with the trap fire down below. So you can play that from up here, or even like way back in here, and that's a perfect one way and they won't see you. Besides that, you really want to put a wire here. Like if you play an A heaven, you want to play with that setup, you really need a wire under the smoke over here so you don't get like backstabbed. And that wire is probably way too close, so you should probably put that wire like closer to here, so you actually get notified before they can peek you. Like if you play up here, right? Peek that, they break the wire, you can still like react. So there are basically two ways to play a towards ramp. For the first way, you pretty much just put trap wire on any of these walls or on the box, or even in front of the box like that, and put a smoke on each, or on the trap wire you choose, basically. And if you're afraid that they're gonna push you fast, just put the cam down here. If you're a little ballsy, you can come here after the wall goes down and place the cam right there, so it's a little more hidden, and you can still see him walk up. In either case, both camps are pretty useful for both ways to play him, right? So for that setup, you want to play like either from on top of the bin right here, or from right next to it. Gonna be chilling in your cam right there. Gonna wait for them to walk up, activate the cage, peek off of it. If they walk over the trip and demolish them. Easy. And for the second way, which is a little more tricky, you require one-way smoke. For that, you want to aim right here on the little thing on the wall. Doesn't have to be too accurate, just go right there. And you want to play it from all the way back in here, and you want him to walk all the way up here before you activate that trip. Because otherwise, I'll show you in a minute, they can fight you really well from ramp right there. Alright. Just to make sure you see what I mean right there by that. So if you fight them while they come up ramp, well, it's not really one right now, is it? So these are the two heaven setups that I play, but I actually like to play Cypher more on site. And there are a couple cool ways to do that. One good trap way is that one that goes across here, and you can pair that with a one-way smoke. That's pretty easy. Like you actually just stand up near that railing thing, aim up here, and it doesn't have to be accurate, right? It always gets the job done. And as another wire, you can put like, you can play off of that wire from back here, pretty much. So if they run out a main, they come down here, run over that trip. Beautiful. And if you want to be really cool with it, you can put the second wire right there, because people usually like to post up under heaven, right? And you can just play it for the wallbang back here. Works beautifully with the Ares or the Odin as well, if you're into that. I like to pair that setup to come up here. So I usually play that with one I smoke up here, and another smoke like either side is fine, either on the left or on the right side. It really depends on where you want to move, right? So if you play like that, you're already pretty deep inside, and you need some way, like you need like a backup plan, right? So let's say they push up here, they trip on those 2 wires, you get a pick or two, right? And then it's time for you to leave. Because you don't want to take like 3 more fights without utility, and you can fall back into elbow. Actually can peek back from here again, like check the cam. Wait, where are they? Okay. Just peek again. So yeah. And that would be my standard A side setup. And then you have an like elbow setup, right? You pretty much keep using that trip because people don't really expect it. They expect the wire to be like near here, and if they're like here, they're like, well, heck is going on? They're not expecting that usually. And you compare that with a trip all the way here, the smoke right there, and you can either use the one way I showed you, but it doesn't actually do anything. So in that case, I like to put down both of my smoke, like one smoke on the ramp, one smoke on that trip, and then hold elbow. Pretty much. They push a ramp, use that trip, use that cage and your tripwire, and if they're getting close, you can like see what's going on with your camera right here. And if they get too close, activate that cage, fall back into A screens. That's a pretty good setup if you're playing alone on A side, or if you realize that your teammate in heaven isn't very strong, right? All right, that's it for A side. We're gonna start off with the cam zombie. There are only really 2 meta cams on B side. First one is the one up here. You have a pretty nice view into B main, and you see their feet way before they even like are able to check that cam. And you can also look into male or in B heaven. And the second meta cam is pretty much up here. Just put that down while falling off of the cliff, and you have a deeper view into B main, right? But and you have a better view into B heaven as well. Downside of that cam is obviously once they're on site, it's very visible. We can also use it for playing the retake, and you can't really do that with that cam because, well, it doesn't see the site, right? So yeah, that's actually the cam to use if you want to play B heaven as Cypher as well. That's the one cam you can use. So tripwires. You have pretty much 3 tripwires you can use, or variances of these. You have that standard trip, which you can place a little higher up if you play against the rays, so the boom bot goes through, right? But people are aware of that and usually try to pre-fire that on either side of the wall, so you don't really want to use that. We can use is the tripwire on the little bin. It's jumpable, obviously. But if people are unsuccessful with shooting the trip, they might like just give up and think that there's no tripwire, and they might just push through. And you're gonna pair that trip with a one-way smoke. So we actually just line up the wall and look at that beam. Oops. At that beam, and then it lands perfectly. Right, and if you play that from back here, you have a perfect spray. So, and the third trip goes down here. Whoop. It's a little trickier. Right there. That's the third trip you can use. If they figured out those 2 trap wires, this one is gonna definitely catch them off guard. And you want to pair that. If you use that trip, you really want to pair that with a tripwire like on here. Wait, not like that. Like that. So you want it to hit the stairs. So if they peek like that and they hit by the trip, it's not as visible. So try to get it close to the box. So yeah, those are the 3 tripwires you can use for B main. And if you use one of the first 2, if you want to play that with a one-way smoke right here. Oh, well, like I said, nice and easy, one-way smoke right there. And I like to put my second tripwire right here on the stairs and put another smoke down. So, and how that usually plays out is, you play against a jet, they crush the first tripwire. So use that. You see him coming with the cam, right? You activate the cage, they run through the trap, you get a kill or two. And if they really commit, you pop that second smoke, and then you can play all the way back towards CT, right? Or you can be sneaky and play all the way back in here. That's very effective. But if you decide to use that setup right here that we talked about, you really want to play. Well, you can do the same thing with the one way, but the one way won't do much. So you might as well put the smoke onto that trap, and play towards backside, because you can really get flanked very fast. So be aware of that. And if you play that setup, you really want to put the cam on the first location, right up here, so you're not getting flanked. There's still one more one-way smoke up here. It's pretty easy. Like, you just line up something like here, aim a little above that, and aim a little above that, right like that. You aim a little above the, I don't know, man, line hold, I guess. And where's my cam? Oh, you can't hop into the cam, right? And if you know that they're pushing up mid and they're pushing into male, you activate that cage, go up here, a nice one way. You gotta be careful though, because obviously since you're on the rope, your accuracy won't be 100%. Or you might get some damage in or pick, and then you can fall back. And yeah, that cam is pretty fucking good. Like, if you want to play towards that, you need somebody else on site to hold your main, obviously, or you could do that with a tripwire that you put farther into main if you have to play here alone and want to play that setup, so you get notified when you get pushed. But generally speaking, you want somebody else with you here if you really want to go for that. Right. So yeah, you use that cam, you see them walking up, activate that, and then you go up here. Easy peasy, right? Another cam spot is like basically up here, and you pair that with these two tripwires. Like, when people come up here, they expect a trip here, and if they want to peek here, they get hit by the trip, and then you just have a smoke right here. Like, I like to put one smoke here in the middle. It's nothing fancy. It's not really one way or anything, but it really does the job if you like play from all the way back here. Another cool trip is that one, because if you jump up out from the ropes, there's like no way to miss that. I think you always land on that trip. Can actually, oh, actually you can put it. Ah, well, that's too obvious, but that might work as well. But you wanna one trip here if you play, like, if you leave the side, I guess. Yeah, that's when you can put it there. If you leave the side, put one trip here. If somebody walks out B main and tries to come into B heaven, they're gonna get tripped here. But yeah, generally speaking, you want to play B heaven from all the way back here, because I like to play safe, right? And if you see him, like, if you hear him walk up or come up and flash whatever, you can just peek off of that. Use that. If they jump up here, they might try actually jumping up here if you put that smoke. So, and then they're toast, because you're holding that and you're not missing your first few shots, right? Because you're a professional player, like I am. What you also could do is play that setup from all the way here. Use that cam to see him walk up, activate the cage, which you obviously have placed right there. Alright, see him come up. Easy. And that concludes my split setup video. I hope you liked that. And if you enjoyed that, subscribe for more content. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.